Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our football podcast, You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. We review last week's games and all the fun that goes with that. We preview next week's games, and then a little football quiz at the end for you to join in at home. This is Cookiecast, You Can't See the Forest for the Tees.
And then in the next league, you'd relegate.
Well, you could keep your relegation and promotion the same from the division, so out of the division and into the division for relegation from, and promotion to. You could keep it as 3 and 3, and that'd keep you out.
No, because after you promote 3 into the championship, Bolton wouldn't be able to drop into the championship.
So you'd put two.
So then you'd relegate.
You just relegate them straight away, and then you'd only have 2 more slots to fill.
So would you basically just see that mirrored all the way
to
the league, where every division relegates 2 but promotes 3? So Bolton drop all the way through in one go.
Potentially, I don't know.
Apart from League 2, because 4 go up from that. Is it League 2 that 4 go up?
It's an interesting theory. I don't know how they'd fulfil it, to be honest with you.
They'd have to maintain the correct number of teams in each league.
Well, it depends. It depends where they put Bolton, doesn't it? By the way, welcome to the podcast. You've joined us mid-debate.
So, basically, I started recording because there are often times that we lose quality football chatter.
I
was going to run a competition to see who could work out what was being discussed at the beginning of the podcast,
or when we'd actually realise at the start.
Have we actually said who it is? No, I think you have said who it is, haven't you?
Bolton.
Yeah.
Bolton
Wanderers. So yeah. Basically, before Andy had pressed the big red button, and by the way, welcome to You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. I might just change this podcast to You Can't See the Forest and Middlesbrough can go fuck themselves or something like that.
Steady on.
You've gone from having loads of other club shirts, loads of Middlesbrough away shirts. You just back to the standard tonight. You've had a yellow one and a white one in the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
Loads.
But then sprinkled in with non-Middlesbrough tops. I can't remember the last time you had a home shirt on.
Well, I didn't have any on last week.
You forgot last week, didn't you?
I didn't forget. I specifically didn't bring one because it was International Week. International Roundup.
And he did address that. Right at the start.
And you'd already used your England jersey.
I can fly.
Yeah.
Technically, I've potentially got a new shirt to bring to next week. It just depends whether it's washed in time.
Ooh.
Oh, we've got some stuff to cover in today's podcast, but as the recording button was being pressed,
should we just wrap up the Bolton thing? Yeah.
We were discussing the ramifications of if Bolton don't
fulfil the
rest of their
fixtures, players don't want to play.
So the idea would be that they'd be expunged from the league, all their results would be wiped off.
For those watchers and listeners, and me, who doesn't understand any of this, why don't they want to play?
It's not that they don't want to play.
Non-payment, I think.
So they're in absolute financial nightmare territory and stuff like that. The players
which we knew at the start of the season. They were.
Well, they've been in administration.
They were favourites to be bottom of the league.
I don't know if they've been in. Have they been in administration?
I think they had a transfer embargo at the start of the season, didn't they?
So they're not allowed to sign players unless they're free agents. They just survived on the last day of the season last year.
Before a ball had been kicked, they were like definite favourites for bottom, but they had a decent start, didn't they?
Yeah, but nothing to write home about. Well, they've been like in the bottom 4 all season and stuff like that. So it's come out again that their players haven't been paid,
and potentially don't want to play.
They're down tools, and they're saying they're not training until they get paid. So normally what would happen is the PFA would step in here and the PFA would pay the players' wages. So the idea is that each professional pays a set amount of money to the PFA, the players...
To be part of the union. It's the
Players Football Association?
Yeah, but it's essentially the players' union, isn't it? They pay their union fees or whatever it is.
So the idea is that there's this pool of money that keeps the PFA running, and in times of extreme hardship, they will cover certain clubs' wages, I mean, the chances are probably not enough money in the coffers to cover a club of Bolton's size
for the rest of the season.
Wages for the rest of the season. They might be able to prop them up for like a couple of weeks, but so basically the players haven't been paid. So they've now said until they get paid, they're not training. I think they said they'll still happily play the matches, but they're not training. So
which essentially means going through the motions, because you would imagine without training, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be sluggish and stuff like that.
So let's say I'm playing for Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
What am I taking home a week when I'm getting paid?
I'd imagine the maximum, the top earner there will maybe be on. Yeah, I'd say that there's no one that's going to be on more than 20 or 30 grand a week.
Which I know seems like an incredible amount of money still.
Towards it's an incredible amount of money.
In terms of football, when you look at what like people are on like 250, 300 grand now in top Premier League.
I'm just trying to see if I can find any more about it, because it is an interesting sort of
Well, I'm just wondering, like,
thing.
Which point you cross over into I'm not fussed about the money. I'll play the games because I'm still a professional footballer and I can't pay my rent.
So, this is the article on Sky Sports as it stands. Bolton's fixtures against Ipswich and Middlesbrough are in danger of being postponed over safety fears, the EFL has confirmed. The EFL has today been informed the Safety Advisory Group, SAG, responsible for issuing the General Safety Certificate at Bolton, has placed a prohibition notice preventing fans from entering the ground, with stewards and safety staff refusing to work until they are paid. So maybe it's not the playing staff,
it's the staff.
It's the staff are refusing to work until they've been paid.
Which kind of heads off your issue of, if you're a steward, that's literally like, I don't know, like your normal standard salary or whatever.
Which makes sense.
If they're not getting paid, they're going to go away and get a job.
If we turned up to work and they said, oh, by the way, you're not getting paid for today, it's like, well, I'll see you later then.
Yeah. You know I'd be there.
Well, obviously, because you'd be there. You've got some sort of sickness.
But anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, that's different, isn't it? And obviously, I don't want to be the fight for the little man, but maybe some of those players could take a week off getting paid. So the rest of them.
As it turns out, there's a link inside that article. It says unpaid Bolton players on strike. So it seems like it's across the board. It's basically anyone connected with the club that's not getting paid is just refusing to do stuff. Bolton Wanderers players are refusing to attend training until they and the club staff are paid their March wages. Sky Sports News understands. First team players have taken this action in support of staff at the Skybet Championship Club, some who are in financial hardship as a result of missing payments. Which again makes sense. If you're running on like minimum wage in relation to this, how are you paying your mortgage and stuff like that? So you have to absolutely agree.
So unless they know that's sorted, you can't risk selling the tickets or letting people go in.
Well, no. This is the thing. So I was listening to I was watching a little article just before we came in here that was saying that if you go on the website, they're still selling tickets to the games.
But I mean, that's how they're getting the money in the door, isn't it? So,
well, maybe, but that's a catastrophe waiting to happen, because it's going to cost them more money when they have to refund all those payments.
And even if they don't take money through the out the box office sales now, if those games don't go ahead, they're still going to have to refund a proportion of the season tickets, aren't they? Which that money's already been.
Will they be insured against that?
I don't know. He might know. I don't know how. Would you even have insurance against?
Because there'll be insurance for stuff like that.
Against.
So you've sold all these season tickets. You can't offer that person that game to go to. They're presumably entitled to a refund or partial refund of that season ticket.
Well, you'd assume so. But if there's no money there to offer a refund,
but this is what I mean.
But I'm just thinking, are you insured against that? But I don't know.
Football club insurance is weird, though, isn't it? Because like you get player insurance. If your player gets crocked, you get his wages like reimbursed from somewhere, but I don't know how that works. I don't even know if like a company like Aviva would offer insurance in that regard. I don't know that sort of side of it. It'd be interesting to get Stu on it, because he's got like a businessy type degree, so he might know stuff like that.
I know like various people in various different professions insure themselves. So I imagine footballers will insure their legs. So things like that, if they break their leg and stuff.
Well, the footballers wouldn't do it themselves. The club would cover that, because
you'd imagine that the club would take out a policy on their behalf.
I remember a thing And this was like in the 90s.
Bear in mind, if you're going to say something about an American, they're weird because they're a bit of
Well, I was going to say...
They're a bit of a sub-anomaly, aren't they? So.
I remember hearing Lars Ulrich, the drummer for Metallica, his arms were insured for $1 million a piece.
But not his legs?
No.
He has to double kick pedal? Drummers, not getting enough respect.
20 years.
But then you hear them stories about, like, you know, like the leading, like, tea tasters in the world are insuring their tongues for money and stuff like that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tea tasting my ass.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Tea bagging. Jesus Christ.
I imagine the leading teabagger in the world's probably insured his teabag.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how
you get
some
kicked in the balls.
clarification.
I'd like to insure my ball bags, please.
You get kicked in the balls.
If you're paying
Sir.
money for teabagging, you need to make sure that you can.
Honestly, thought you were going to say, if you're paying money for teabagging, bring them here. I'll do it for free. Thought that's where you're going, James.
No.
For anyone interested, direct message James on Twitter at JamesPJ.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah. Panas.
Apologies to whoever James
balls in his
PJ
mouth.
is.
Hashtag fill up James Panas' mouth.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I was trying to get a password reset for? I can't even remember what it was. I kept putting the thing in and the email didn't come through. It's like, reset the password for this. No email. Just do it. It's like, Jesus, went on to the actual thing I was trying to reset the password for. I was like, nope, that's not my username. So somebody was just getting bombarded with emails. It's like, you need to reset your password. It's like, I don't. I'm good, thanks.
How long ago was it? Because I remember getting about 85 emails through about resetting my password.
Yeah. Stop using my email.
So that's Bolton. Anyway, we'll
yeah, so
it will potentially have an impact if they get removed from the league.
So
that's not a relegation; it is actually just expulsion.
If anyone knows what the idea is, because we were trying to work out how they'd restructure the leagues, so it all depends on where they place Bolton.
I think there's no way they play in any of the professional leagues. You could put them to the next conference, or it could be you got to start again under like a new. You know, Rangers started again, didn't they? They're not Glasgow Rangers anymore. They're just Rangers.
If you think about it, there's a club quite close to where I am in the world, in a footballing perspective, Darlington.
Yeah.
So Darlington went out of business when they were in the conference. They did get relegated that season, but instead of going into the Conference North, they went all the way down to the bottom of the football pyramid in theory, and they had to start again in the Northern League.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a case of that season, when they dropped out of the conference, they just brought another team up from the what's below the conference North and South? It's the Northern League. So it's the equivalence across the board, but then you've got that argument of which team from which
I
division.
never understand when you've got regional ones how it works.
So with the Northern League, you've got the Northern Division 1, then the Northern
Is it still the pyramid? Is there still 3? Because before the feeder ones into the conference.
Well, there used to be like the Ryman League,
wasn't
the
the
Isthmian League,
which you said they were all branded, weren't they? Ryman League, Isthmian League, and whatever the other one was.
Was Isthmian a?
Isthmian was one.
No, was it a sponsor?
I think so. I think that's what it meant. Yeah.
I just assumed that was just the name of it. I mean, saying that, like you had.
So essentially, wasn't it like
it was
North
the
South?
GM Vauxhall Conference, which I always thought was quite cool back in the day. I don't know.
I don't know how.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to Google. Bear with us, kids. This one might be a bit of a tedious one, but good. I'm enjoying this. This is a proper in-depth football discussion.
Yeah. How's this?
Andy's currently thinking, what the fuck is going on here?
No, I'm trying to work out how I can solve the audio issue that we've got.
Oh,
you mean that
the jumbo jet taking off?
Yeah, the fan's like, I'm letting you know, I'm probably gonna die.
Do you know what? When I used to play on a gaming laptop,
yes,
right. I got a new one in the end, but my old gaming laptop, it was like a well snazzy Samsung one. But after a while, the fans started not being able to keep up. Rather than me going and putting a new fan in it, I just had a desk fan directed at the laptop, and it bloody worked.
Well, I'm sitting there going, I need some kind of fan.
I just got a massive desk fan, put it next to the laptop, and just blew on it, and it worked. I mean, that don't work if you want to take your laptop out and about.
Well, no, that laptop literally sits there, so I'm a bit like, what if I just go and get the fan from
it absolutely does work.
Oh, well, there we go, then I might just do that.
I mean, granted, you're trying to get rid of the fan noise it depends how quiet your desk fan blowing at it is. It might just be like taken away from one.
Need one of them little USB ones that just a little go maybe. But yeah, I've noticed on a couple of the podcasts now that we've moved to this type of audio recording, there's points where there's like a lull in conversation and that's all you can hear. It's like, crap.
Can we not, like you used to take a sample, like an ambient thing to get rid of the ambient, can you not just take a sample of that and then somehow extract it that way?
Yeah, that's part of
post-production.
Yeah, it's part of what I do, which removes some of it, but
what I was going to say is,
like,
depending on how long your leads are, you could just put that in another room.
leads.
We don't say that. We don't say that on this podcast.
We could cover it in like a blanket or something to double it out.
Oh yeah, that might
increase the heat.
I mean that's not gonna just set on fire immediately.
Yeah.
Welcome to today's Hellcast.
Yeah.
And right now
The
we're all
fiery
on
depths.
fire.
Yeah. Anyway, did you get the answer?
So structure. At the top is the single division of the Premier League, level 1.
Level 1.
I think we're all right until the conference. I understand how that all works.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes us down to the National League, and this is where it starts to split.
National League is what we would call the GM.
So National League is the beginning of non-league.
So the conference.
So it's the
we're in the
conference.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Of.
So that's the top division of amateur, semi-professional level football.
So Monday Night Football, obviously.
Oh, obviously, seriously. I mean, it'd be nice to think that the league that I'm in is in some form of English pyramid system.
Yeah. Speaking of
Sadly,
which,
it is only 5%.
At which point are we covering the Monday, Thursday? No. Oh.
Sadly, there was only one game played last
Didn't
night.
get asked to play.
Didn't the call never came? I even checked with the good Lord Lacey, and he was like, "No, they don't need us."
Oh, they didn't even need Lacey.
No, unbelievable. Furious.
Yeah.
I'd psych myself up to basically marshal that defence.
After he was bigging himself up, saying he was like the star player last week, clearly they were like...
Star player last week, my arse. Oh no, actually my arse was quite handy because I was back into people all the time. Cheering it all the way. Right, so...
Go on.
So level 5 is the beginning of the non-league status.
Yeah, we've already done that one.
So that starts to split. So that league... level 6 is your National League North, National League South.
Just 2 then, not 3.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Because it used to be 3 into the conference back when we were thinking.
Yeah, that got changed in 2006. I think
because I kind of believe that's where the phrase pyramid system comes from. Because it was like 3.
Well, yeah, maybe. So then you go down to level 7, which is the Northern Premier League, the Southern Football League Central Division, Southern Football League South Division, and Isthmian League Premier Division.
So
there's 4.
2, is there 2 into 2?
No.
Or is it 4
it's
into
4 into 2, 2 into 1, and then it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way up.
But what I mean is, the 4 into 2, can any of those 4 go into either of those 2? Or is it separated 2 and then...
Well, I'd imagine it's a case of they had this thing called border teams. So it was obviously split Northern League, Southern League, border. So
the borders to take, like, if you've got a shit ton of Southern teams, you end up in North.
This is the worst thing. So the teams that are in that sort of middle belt,
they don't know from what year, what league they're in.
Because if it turns out that 3 teams get promoted from the south, from the north, and only 1 team from the south gets promoted, they have to rejig the leagues
to play
and put someone. So say you could be in the National League North one season. If too many teams that are from the north in the North Band get promoted, you get pushed into the National League South. So you could go from playing the same teams each season to playing absolutely new ones every season. If you're on that board, it's really weird. That's level 7. Level 8 is where it just gets a bit weird. There's so many divisions.
There's a gorilla throwing.
But that's going to be super. That's going to be super regional though at that point.
So that's Northern Premier League Division 1 North, Northern Premier League Division 1 South. I didn't even know that was a thing. Southern Football League Division 1 East, Southern Football League Division 1 West. Oh my word, this is absolutely outrageous. Level 8 running in parallel, 20 teams in each division. Oh, we've opened the right can of worms here.
I think we'd stop.
Yeah, I think we do. Pandora's box is fully open and she's basically just displaying her goodies to the rest of the crowd.
Carry on.
Basically, what
Please continue.
what it turns out is that if Bolton go bust, who the fuck knows? They'll basically just push one extra team up every division, I think.
It'll either be
Which would make sense.
So I know in one
just
league,
going to be gone.
I think so. Yeah. It's just it's how far they get jettisoned. Really, do they just go down into the first unprofessional one?
Well, I know because you can't. Well, that's the thing in it. But you would imagine that if you put them in the National League, one team that's either been promoted to the National League will miss out, and it'll be like, no, go fuck yourself. We've just earned this promotion. So you'd imagine they'd have to start at the.
It'd be wherever
the highest possible level where there's a space for them to fit in. That's how I'm assuming that's how it would go.
Or they could go all the way.
Because if
You've got to start a new team.
You do have teams that go bust like, in that sort of like sense in the semi-professional ranks because they just can't afford to keep going. So they just take a position of a team that just folds. I'd imagine.
What happened? Oh, because like, the only one I remember going bust is Aldershot did it, didn't he, in the 90s, and they came back. But
do you know what? This is exactly the sort of time when we need keep on. He loves a bit of Aldershot.
He's got all the programmes. He
has
played for him.
Oh yeah.
That was the strike.
Of course, he was the striker.
We were in the pub and he actually covered it. He was like, yeah. I remember one game when they played.
He's got some programmes.
They played Wolves this is back before the playoffs was a one-legged final. It was playoff where you'd play the home leg and then you'd play the away leg, or vice versa, whatever it was. So he said that he remembers going to one game where it was Aldershot versus Wolves, and they won. And he said that he seemed to remember it being 1-0, and then they drew the game at Wolves 0-0, so Aldershot went up. And he says he remembers getting chased off with like Wolves fans behind the bus, throwing like stones and bricks and stuff at the coach. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I googled it, and he was absolutely correct. The scores were bang on. I think he even remembered the scorer and stuff like that. So yeah, he knows his stuff. But yeah, it's too tricky. I imagine it would be the slot them in where they can fit and stuff like that. But they obviously they wouldn't play at the stadium anymore. They'd have to play at a smaller ground.
It's just weird, isn't it? Because you go from like one day you're a professional footballer playing for a professional football team.
Well, the players wouldn't stay with the club.
No. They'll all have.
So the players would have their contracts should be torn up.
They'd be scattered to
because that's what happened with Rangers, wasn't it? Like most of the players that were like half decent just had their contracts like voided, and they were free to join other clubs. Because that's when Stephen Davis went to Southampton, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
There was loads of players that ended up joining other clubs.
How long did it take Rangers to get back to basically
5 seasons or 4 seasons?
It definitely wasn't 4 seasons.
Well, bear in mind they've been back in the Premier League now for like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah,
and I think they went bust into.
Did they get back-to-back promotions, or did they? Did they stay in the Championship for one extra year?
Yeah, I think so. They did the third straight away, the second straight away, and then when they got to the first division, they got picked to promotion by either Hearts or Hibs, and then the next season I think they almost got picked again. Because
from the Premier League down to, is it called the Scottish Championship or Scottish First Division, whatever it is, it's just one up, one down, and a playoff is there between second bottom and second
that's it. Because I think they lost the playoff against Motherwell, from what I can remember.
So it's difficult,
and I think their fans kicked off big time.
But yeah, I mean they went basically down to the bottom because they obviously don't have like a massive non-league setup.
Well, they don't have relegation
from that bottom league.
Officially from the bottom league. I think there's something like if you finish bottom so many seasons in a row, you automatically get demoted. Because that's what happened to East Stirling, I think. So I don't think they're in it anymore. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we're dipping right into the depths of.
That's the only time I know of how it's worked. But they got jettisoned and they rebuilt the company, didn't they? Because it's just a different team now.
Well, that's the thing.
It was like Rangers. Now they're just Rangers.
Well, they're not even that. It's the Rangers. They're officially called the Rangers FC. So they've had to drop the Glasgow bit because they're a new football team now. Yeah. But it's the same thing as Darlington. So Darlington went from being Darlington Football Club to being Darlington 1863 or something like that, because that's the year they were originally formed. So the Phoenix Club was then dubbed that. But everyone just calls the club
Darlow.
Not not the Phoenix Club.
Darlow.
Pull off into paradise. Not that, but everyone just calls them Darling. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, like clubs dying and getting reborn and stuff like that. It's strange. Good topic, though.
And it wasn't too... there was a potential for it to happen to Middlesbrough back in the day, wasn't there?
So, back in 1986, the club went into administration because they had no fucking money. And I think they were, like, minutes away from having to fold the club entirely and stuff like that.
Is that when Gibson...
That's when Gibson put the consortium together to buy the club, and he was appointed as chairman.
And then 10 years later, you were spending loads of money.
Yeah,
you?
so obviously...
Around 95, 96, is that where you were starting?
This is the thing, it was always quite cool for me growing up as a kid, because like, the badge used to be Middlesbrough Football Club in a round, and it was 1986 on the badge. So I was like, ooh, I'm as old as the club. I was like, no, but, you know, it was quite cool that like they had the sort of the same date, like the same year on the badge as the year I was born. And they said... When they went on the European like run, they said it was quite weird because apparently like Gibson would be like having like drinks with the chairman or the owner of whatever club they were playing,
and they thought
they kept saying, Jesus Christ, it's amazing how far the club's come in, like 20 years and stuff. It was like, oh no, the club's actually like, you know, a lot older. 1876. Yeah, boy. The club was actually founded in 1876.
He knows how old his club is. Really.
It was like reformed and things like that.
Yeah.
We had to say administration. So that's
but to
why
say that you've
that's
come
why
out of
they changed the badge.
administration, and then within 10 years, so 1986 say that, within 10 years you'd like built a new stadium.
Yeah.
You've been getting like legit like Brazilian
Juninho,
superstars.
arguably. So when they covered this on a Borough podcast that I listened to.
And what was that, 94, 95?
So they signed Juninho in 1995, and arguably he was Brazil's hottest player other than Ronaldo at the time.
Yeah.
So he just played, I think they had like the Umbro Cup or something at Wembley, and he'd scored a belting free kick against England, so he was like a hot name like on everyone's like lips. And it was it was a massive coup to get him to say, like, and it was just because it was Robson, wasn't it? So everyone wanted to come and play for Brian Robson. But yeah, to say that they've gone from being almost out of business, dropped down to Division 3.
You were one of the first teams to start getting that new stadium, like the flat pack stadium.
They call it identikit stadiums, yeah. So like ours was the first of that sort of ilk, and then like so Derby's is very similar, St Mary's is very similar, Britannia's is very similar.
Bolton's.
No, Bolton's is different
Is
because that's got like it's a bit like the McAlpine. I can still call it the McAlpine.
Yeah.
Huddersfield City will always be the McAlpine
Yeah.
to me, but it's got those weird sort of beveled stands where like
So it's four stands rather than like a kind of with open corners.
So when the Riverside got built, it was like a bowl, but they had two corners weren't filled in, like the Britannia is or the Bet365, whatever it's fucking called now at Stoke. And then about 2 or 3 seasons after it had been built, they filled the corners in to increase the capacity. But yeah, pretty much it got to a stage where all the new stadiums that were being built were basically built using that model.
Template, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously that's changed now. So you've got like Spurs' new stadium, which looks fucking good. I think they play their first game there tomorrow, don't they?
62,062 capacity.
The UK NFL stadium?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Impressive stuff.
Speaking of terrible football.
Oh dear, do we have to do this? Just bear with me. I need to depress myself some more and see what score the Borough game currently is.
I'm happy because, from memory, although I didn't get a correct score, got the result, and I'm pretty sure I got the goal as well.
Oh, I got a goal scorer. Because I remember sitting in the pub waiting for the Borough game to start, watching.
On my game?
Yeah.
What? Was it the Swansea goal then?
No.
I know you joked at Murphy, but
I'm almost certain I stuck Murphy down.
Did he?
Yeah, boy.
No, because no one got Wagyu beef, did they?
No one in their right mind was picking Wagyu beef.
It's good again.
Unbelievable.
So let's kick off last week's games and find out how close we came to £3,587. Let's do this.
Yeah. The weird thing is, you are going to have to see when we do the score predictions here. We've already predicted the game that is currently happening now. So we do need to drag this out for about 20 minutes to be able to do the Middlesbrough Bristol one. So we might have to come back to that one.
Let's come back to it.
But we'll do what we can do, Brian.
So Nottingham Forest versus Swansea.
Yeah, you've gone very American there.
At one point, I was like,
try something new.
I was getting a bit excited because I thought I was on for a correct result at one point.
Yeah, because you texted us, didn't you, and say that Forest had balls there.
Fucking wankers.
Did you had a 1-1?
I had a 1 each.
Yeah, absolutely thinking that Middlesbrough weren't going to shit out. Twice in the same week, again.
Alright, mate, no need to rub it in.
So, Forest against Swansea was Forest 2, Swansea 1.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So, I'm pretty sure me and you went for a win and Paul went for a draw.
So that's point each.
Shitbird.
Point each for me and you.
Yeah. Right, so goal scorers.
No points, Paul.
Goal scorers for Forest were... I don't even know you say his name, so I'll just say Wagyu.
Yeah, I don't even know his first name.
It's Wagyu with an E on the end, innit? So
W-A-G-U-E.
yeah, no one's picked him. Murphy scored a goal. And honestly, I don't know who scored the Swansea goal. Do you know?
It did flash up, but I can't remember it. I don't want to go off because I haven't seen the Borough score yet.
Well, who did you predict for the Swansea game? Because I'm pretty sure we said
I said
no goals for Swansea.
I said McBurney, and I know it wasn't him.
And we didn't even predict any Swansea goals, so we're not missing it.
There's no points there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Is
everybody...
that one apiece all across the board?
A point there.
I can't believe you've saved that. But when it comes to the Middlesbrough game, so it was Middlesbrough 0,
Cracking start.
Norwich 1.
Not only was it Middlesbrough 0, the team they were playing at home 1. Currently is 0-1. Fucking useless twice.
Was this not the game that you were in attendance?
Might have been.
Oh yeah.
I'll just show up the picture.
He's got some vids apparently, haven't you? I think
Just one picture. The videos were from the gig that we'd been to.
Oh right, yeah.
So
GLC videos coming then.
The view for the watchers, if they're bothered, is here. So front row, right behind the goal.
Waiting for that goal, waiting to suck that ball in.
Do you know what? The amount of time... So they were attacking our end in the first half, and there were some tame efforts going at the keeper there. I don't think they worked the keeper with any of the shots they had on target. They were all along the ground, P-rollers, like straight into the keeper's gloves, stuff like that. She couldn't get out from under their feet. And then obviously switch around in the second half, and...
At least you saw a goal at your end then.
That's not how it works. I don't want this, James.
Isn't that basically how it worked when we went up there as well?
Oh, it's like
that you saw all the goals at your end. You just worked for the right team.
Why does he hate me so?
I don't know. I will just point out when we go to see Forest Borough, it'll be a side stand.
That's fine. Fives.
Brian Clough stand, mate.
Cloughy.
Yeah. Cloughy. So he went to the game, but it was 0-1.
Points each for us.
Did he go for a draw in his own team?
Yes, he
He
did.
did.
Yes, he did.
So the scorer was Hernandez.
Onel Hernandez.
Which I think you'll find I had down.
Sick. Did you also go 0-1?
No, 0-3.
Tell you something, in the second half they were cutting us to pieces.
I was surprised when it stayed. Because the score was about 50 some.
So we hit the post literally just before they scored, which I'd forgotten about because obviously, having watched 40 minutes of a non-stop attack against us, you do tend to forget that, we actually had a chance. We must have hit the post about 5 minutes into the second half.
Was it the 54, 57?
Something like that. Yeah, it was in the mid to late 50s.
And then was it?
And then after that, it was just
I was surprised that there wasn't another one when I was watching the scores come through.
The problem was for Borough was that they just didn't have an out ball. Like basically, they'd Norwich would press They work the ball around, they do the standard, pass it in triangles and stuff to open up the space. Knock the ball in behind for the quick full-backs to get.
The amount of counter-attack goals that
Seriously,
Cookie scored this year is incredible.
The thing is, though...
This is why they get so many late goals. They get the win, and then you are encouraged that you have to go forward, and they just smash you.
But they've just got so much pace and creativity throughout the team. Pookie looked terrible. His movement was good, but his
Pookie's one of those players,
bad.
though, he can look terrible and somehow score 2 goals.
Well, yeah, but when they signed him, I was like, why are they going for him? He was garbage at Celtic. And I was surprised when they signed him, but obviously it's turned out quite well for him.
Is he still top scorer in that division?
Or is he's very close. There's a few around there that are sort of at the sort of 20 goals mark and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was first half. Borough played really well. To be fair, they had some nice movement and things like that. But just it's been the same. It's been the same story all season. They just haven't got in the final third. They've just not got a killer finisher, like someone who one chance, bang, goal. They're very.
That's not Brit.
They seem to be reluctant to have a pop.
When a bit quiet.
He has. When
if he's anything like when he was at Forest, right? Absolutely going to get you goals, but he needs a lot of chances to get them goals.
Yeah.
He's not like that clinical finisher.
Yeah.
If you've got someone in midfield who's going to give him loads of chances, he's probably going to put some of them away.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The problem is for Borough is that without Lewis winging the team, they haven't got anyone who's willing to pull the trigger from as soon as he gets it out of his feet. Seriously,
are we talking like diagonal balls or crosses?
No,
as in
shots.
Actually long shots.
Or just shots from anywhere. So Wing's the only person who, as soon as he gets out of his feet, his first thing is to look up and see what the keeper's doing and stuff like that.
So he's like your Lolly.
Yeah, probably. Well, Lolly's. We missed Lolly's goal earlier in the season, didn't we?
Yeah, but he's our guy who's direct. He picks it up from deep.
Yeah.
Just runs basically towards the goal, and then some point between the start of his run and the end of his run, be looking to get away a shot. And you've seen the amount of left foot screamers he's got this year. Incredible.
But yeah, he is that player for us. He's the only guy who was looking to. He's a very forward-thinking player, let's put it that way. So when he's not in the team,
he's one of Pulis' favourites.
Oh, Jesus. But it does look. It just looks at the moment that none of them are willing to have a shot because they don't want to have
scared. They don't want to be the one that.
They don't want to get a bollocking when they give the ball away or something like that. So they'd much rather retain the possession, pass it across the numbers, so to speak.
Just absolve themselves of any responsibility.
Yeah. Not look for any killer balls in behind or anything like that. So it's just the problem that's
got to come from the manager and the mentality that he's saying that people should be able to kind of shoot and not be worrying.
Yeah.
I mean not exactly the same. I hate it when you play loads of games and you see no one wants to cross the ball. You get to down one side, 18 yards out from byline or whatever. You whipping a free kick, whipping a cross or whatever. Just let the men, guys in the middle do it. Just turn back and play a sideways ball back into
centre
midfield.
Isn't that the only move that's left in football these days anyway?
What?
Play it all the way down one side, cross it into the middle, and let whoever's in the middle score. Isn't that the only move that's left in football? Because that's all I've ever seen.
No, they don't want to do that though. They want to just keep possession and get the perfect goal all the time.
Do you know what? I don't have a problem with it. So you'll
I don't have a problem with
recycling
the ball and going for another attack. But at some stage, you need to throw a cross in.
You'll be able to vouch for this. So when we went to the Borough versus Forest game earlier season, Middlesbrough fans, it's quite easy to say that they're not a very patient lot. They get a bit antsy. Probably one of the first sets of fans to jump all over the players' backs if they're not doing something right.
At the time when we went to that game,
they had lost.
You and Leeds were basically swapping for top spot.
They had lost. They had conceded at home in the season.
You and Leeds were swapping for top spot, weren't you? At that point,
pretty much.
So it was a real big game for us.
The problem is that they're always looking for the ball forward. So the amount of time, I mean, there was one occasion on Saturday where they had a corner, 2 passes later, it was back at the keeper, and it was how the fuck's this happened? Which that is frustrating. Don't get me wrong, but the thing that I always get annoyed with is people who like sort of say, right, so they've managed to they've sort of started with the keeper, the keeper's rolled out, and the defenders are sort of passing it amongst themselves, like, you know, into the older midfielder who sort of looks to see if there's like a ball in behind or if there's a ball to the side and stuff like that. And so you'll get an overlap where they've been dragged over to one side, and the right back, for example, stays out wide. He's got the space, and the ball's played in for him to come onto. He carries it down the wing, and then because there's no one in the box, or because the person in the box is marked, he'll play it back to the older midfielder, who then looks for the next pass, so recycles the ball, as James said, and stuff like that. Now, it used to piss me off when people used to boo that, because at the end of the day, what's the point in you just lumping the ball forward for the opposition to basically just get it recycled? Well, they'll just retain possession.
At some stage, you do need to just. There does need to be a risk taking.
No, I get that.
Stage.
I get the feeling that Borough have just gone 2-0 down, because I've just had a message from my mate just saying peel it out, and he's not even a Borough fan.
I mean, I know that you both keep saying, "Oh, he's not going to get fired. He's not going to get fired." But how far is he going to get?
End of the season.
Let's put it this way, right? So
no one can do anything more.
If they lose again tonight, that's 5 on the spin. They'll have lost the last 4 in a row at home, and the fans have already started to like vote with their feet and just not going to games.
And you've got to think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so Fulham are definitely down.
Oh man!
3 weeks ago, it was Middlesbrough's record was they were never doing more than 2 of anything. No, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses.
They've never won, lost, or drawn more than 2 games in a row. Well, maybe it's just that.
And that was only 3 weeks ago.
I think this far out, you fire him.
If they sack him, all that's going to happen, they're not going to bring another manager in. All that's going to happen is Woodgate will take over to the end of the season.
Is he the assistant, or is he just?
He's in the back room.
He's coaching staff. Yeah. Right.
So all that will happen is Woodgate will take over the control of the club till the end of the season. They're probably going to play exactly the same way, because Woodgate hasn't been a coach long enough to develop his own ideas.
Yeah.
And maybe he has with like the youth teams about, but it's a bit different there, because you can stamp your like will on any of them because they're young enough to do that.
And you say though that Gibson's not gonna.
He's not one for sacking people willy nilly, but he did. He got rid of Monk like the fastest he's ever got rid of any manager. So Monk's the least. I can't think of the word.
I think what I mean though is
shortest serving manager in Middlesbrough.
If you're letting someone off 40 games, I don't see you sacking with just 6 left to go.
There's no point.
Yeah,
it's pointless. So like you'll maybe get the bounce 2 games, and then you're hoping that he's going to basically perform miracles in the playoffs. You might as well stick with what you've got. I mean, it's not. I mean, to be fair, it's got to the point now where you probably don't want to go up anyway, because they're just going to get pasted in the Premier League next season, because the players they're not ready. They're not ready to go back up. There's not.
But when you look at any of the squads in the Championship, how many are ready?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, you could argue that. So
I think Norwich is showing something. If Norwich keep hold of like Aarons and
if they can keep the nucleus that squad together, they should do fairly decent next season.
You'd fancy him against like Bournemouth.
Well, this is the thing.
I know this is my new pet hate team.
What I was going to say was, if you look
at that argument you had at that wedding.
If you look at the teams that are coming, if you look at the teams that are going to come down from the Premier League, no offence to Huddersfield, but they're not exactly something to worry about for next season. If you're a Championship team,
no, I think Huddersfield come down. They're just like, let's just not get relegated.
Yeah, you could argue that Fulham will have the problem of they've got a lot of big earners that they need to get off the wage bill as soon as possible. So the nucleus of that team will just be ripped apart.
But that's what they did when they came up.
Well, yeah, I suppose. They fell at the same trap as Borough did. Got promoted with a really good team that was playing some good stuff, signed too many new players.
You do need to enhance the team.
You don't just rip it all apart. That's what I said. I quite liked even though I dislike Bournemouth as a team, because Eddie Howe just does my head in. I just don't like the sort of plucky little underdogs.
They're not going anywhere.
But they did it right. They got promoted with a team that had been together for long, and then they basically just added little bits here and there and just changed certain bits of the team. Didn't overhaul the whole team at once. So they still had that nucleus together. They had that team spirit. They had everything one way. Everyone fighting for each other and stuff like that. And like when Borough got promoted, they didn't have that, and neither did Fulham, because they didn't have that. So you could argue that next season could be even more open than it's been this season, because you're going to have the teams that don't get promoted this season, plus Huddersfield, not really much to worry about. Fulham, probably not going to have the same team, so again, could be a bit of a wild card. And Cardiff, arguably, are going to be the last team to go down, and you wouldn't worry about a team like Cardiff. So
no, but I'd fancy out of all those three that Cardiff got the best chance of doing something.
They'd be the strongest team to go back up in theory, but
you'd be hoping by then that Swansea have like steadied the ship and they'd be looking to like make like a more of a charge than they have this year.
Yeah, well, you could argue the same for Stoke. They'd have had a season of consolidation. They've sort of like rebuilt and stuff like that. They'll go again. West Brom will probably be stronger than they were this season. I mean, they might still go up anyway through the playoffs, but yeah,
if Villa don't get through the playoffs, they've got
Villa
to be
look
favourites.
strong. They've
got to be favourites if they don't play off it this year.
So did they win on? Oh, did they win on Saturday? I can't remember.
No, they played. Was it Friday night? Did they play Birmingham?
No, that was West
Brom. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember how Villa got on this weekend. But either way, they were looking like the team to beat. They're the form team at the minute. They're just absolutely smoking everybody.
Peaked right, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I suppose Norwich are the form team, but I don't even know where we were, to be honest. I've honestly I've lost all sort of like relevance of where we were.
We were just talking about.
We were talking about whether
Pulis getting fired.
Whether Tony was going to get fired, and they were saying that there's no point.
There isn't for me. I mean, like, I'm not one of the Pulis out brigade.
Yeah,
but
I don't see the point in firing anyone 6 games before the end of the season. However, if you are going to decide to make a change, I don't want that change to be happening halfway through the summer. If the decision is I need a new manager for the next season, give him the summer early.
Yeah,
let him get his idea of his players, because you're going to have to make something available for him.
You'd imagine so.
Yeah, I mean Tim always bangs on about this with United, and he's always like, this is what I like United days. They don't buy anyone at the end of the transfer windows. They've generally got an idea of what they want. They either go out and fail to get that deal done or get the deal done, and that's it. But they know what they want to do early doors. There's no point like panic buying at the end of the window, all that kind of stuff.
How long is left in the Middlesbrough Bristol City game?
10 minutes ish.
We can do next week's predictions.
We can look at the fact that none of us have got any points.
Well, it's currently 0-1.
So none of us have got any points.
So have none of us picked Bristol City to even score?
So all of us.
I think we all went 1-0 to Middlesbrough.
Did we?
Yeah,
we
everybody went for the same score. So and that also means that we've not got any scores.
Well, we can effectively all agree to cash out, as it were, on these predictions and just.
Let's go on to next week's predictions, shall we? I'm getting depressed just thinking about the Borough.
I have a...
So does that mean I've won this week?
It will mean you'll have won this week. I have This Week in Football.
Okay.
So let's predict... And then we'll talk about this week in football.
Oh, sorry, I thought you wanted us to predict This Week in Football. Like, predict what I'm going to say next. I don't.
Can you tell me what I have on my page?
He will know what I'm going to bring up This Week in Football.
Just This Week in Football, what I was listening to, and I thought, this is a bit in bad taste, but I get that there's money involved. Right? The fact that Cardiff are refusing to play Salah's thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable about it, but I can see why they're not.
It's a bit
So Salah moved to Cardiff for was it
15?
Yeah, so let's say 15. I thought it was like 14, but whatever it was.
Some of that.
Some pound.
So obviously, let's say around 15. We know what happened to Mr. Salah.
R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, now Cardiff are refusing to pay that transfer fee
So
because it's like it was never the contract was never completed. And then the other team are like, yeah, it definitely was. And they're like, no, we made the slight amendment to it at the end. We're not going to pay. And they're like, to and fro. And I'm like, I can kind of get that. At the end of the day, you're probably going to argue because it's 15 million. It's a lot of money. But
it's really
it just seems just to leave a bad taste in the mouth, doesn't it? Really?
Like, should we not argue about the dead guy and whether we're paying?
Yeah.
And who's paying? Because that's probably not what we want to be known for.
Because this goes back to
the dead man's salary.
I know this goes back to your insurance, but if they're all saying, he didn't have a contract with us. They definitely don't have insurance for that transfer fee. And, like, presumably if the other team thinks they did sell him, they don't have insurance anymore. So it comes down to someone's probably going to lose out on some money.
But it is a proper grey area, though, isn't it? It's awful. It's like, you're sort of thinking, well, like, so not like, well, we sold you the player, give us our money. Well, yeah, but he's never took
possession. However, from who did he come from?
Nantes.
Nantes, that's it. Yeah. From their point of view, I'm kind of a bit with Nantes here, right? Because Cardiff have had all these like memorials. It was like, oh, he was our player. We're really sorry, whatever. But now it's like, we never bought him. Oh yeah, we're not paying that fee because we never took possession, as it were. It just anyway. That was my this week in football. And like, I just thought, I don't like this.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
What's your this week in football? Oh dear.
Got 2 words for you, gentlemen.
He's not going to rock
it.
out Wayne Rooney putting past Rupsals.
I've got 2 words. And those words are Harry.
Oh, I don't know this story. He wants to get into.
I know what he's on about.
Yeah.
Harry
So he said that once he retires.
Has he been watching our podcast?
Maybe.
And thought, can I hit a baseball? Can I kick a field goal?
So,
can I hit a golf thing?
This tied into something that we talked about.
Yeah.
And I said I'd watched that video. That female reporter was like going through Twitter and reading people.
You think it's absolutely the hardest one? Harry Kane's with us, clearly.
Well, did you see the video?
No.
So there's basically a video of him just like booting like field.
So
does it work?
He's nailing them basically. He's hitting them from like 40 yards, 50 yards.
So I texted you and I was like, "What's this shit, Harry Kane?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know how real it is, all this." So I was like, well, after I've seen that video, it's fucking hard. So the thing is, this woman went on Twitter and it was all these people, I can't believe that fucking kicker gets paid X number of millions. I could have made that kick. So she then goes and gets these guys.
Let's see about that then, huh?
Brings them to the thing, on camera, to, like the indoor training for the NFL stuff. It's like a field goal.
And they can't.
And she's like, do you remember when you said this? And they're like, yeah. She's like, and you said that you could have done it. Yeah. Right, crack on then. And she's proper got no time for these guys whatsoever. She's like, there's the ball.
And do they all shit out then?
And like I said to Paul, I was like, getting the ball off the ground is the first challenge because the number of balls are just bounce along.
But Harry Kane can do it.
So it's like, Harry Kane, he's going to go and be a kicker in the NFL. So I said to Paul, I was like,
I mean, he
what is he on
won't
about?
be because he's going to get paid a boatload by, if it's not Tottenham, someone else.
Well, it's not that. It's the fact he said that not now. It's obviously then when he retires.
When
the
he
idea
retires
is that he
from
wants.
football.
So because I mean the argument is fairly sound because you obviously you need to be fit, but you don't really need to be fit to be a kicker in the NFL. I mean, look at Sebastian Janikowski.
Look at Vinatieri.
There's no way that but Vinatieri's like in his like mid to late 40s, isn't he? But he's like he's kept himself
So
fit.
we're talking a
Still
world like
probably the best kicker in the
Oh
game.
yeah, probably.
we're talking a world where we've got like a 35, 36-year-old Harry Kane.
I mean, like you could even say older had a shooting for like a couple of years or something like that. Because all he needs is basically his leg strength. Mm-hmm. So as long as he can keep his leg strength quite high,
and this is
he'd argue that his accuracy would remain.
The thing about kickers is like you might get 4 outings in a game, maybe more, maybe less.
You don't have to run an awful lot. Basically, is the point. So you wouldn't need to have a level of fitness that would allow him to sort of charge around a pitch like he does currently.
The way where I'm going with this is, if you can make a career for millions of pounds just out of being a kicker, why is every number 10 in rugby union not in the NFL? But this is probably where you say there probably is quite a lot of them.
I don't know, to be honest with you, because like
there are big rugby players that have gone to the NFL.
Yeah, because there's not a huge amount of money in rugby, is there, compared to NFL? Right. So
I'd imagine not.
If you're like a competent number 10 who's just like that's pretty much his job. He's obviously playing the game as well, but kicking's his thing. If you're saying you can kind of just earn multi-million dollar contracts just to rock up and kick a ball.
Because obviously the idea is that obviously they either don't want to,
because it is exactly the same. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean,
it is just a conversion kick, isn't it?
Well, you could argue it's easier because it's always from the same. It's always from the same spot. You're always in front of the post.
You're not out on one side.
Whereas with a conversion, you can be almost anywhere on the pitch. It's in line with the last.
Well, no, a conversion is basically you've got to be across the pitch. You've got to be where the ball went over the line. So if you go over right in the corner, the further you bring it back, the better angle you get.
Well, I always got confused as to why people sort of like ran it under the post. Not ran it under the post, as in like you'd go in.
Because if you run it under the post, then you only have to come back like 20, 30 yards just to get enough elevation.
It makes sense.
If you're out on one side, you're coming back like 60 yards, so you're not got like a really narrow angle.
What I always find weird with them is the fact that you always watch it. It's like, oh, he's missed that, and it's like, oh no, there we go. And it just comes back around. It's like, for fuck's sake,
get a curl on there.
Unbelievable! Like the precision it takes is crazy. Like the correction for wind and stuff like that is mental. And I mean, you do get it in the NFL, but they are literally just kicking straight.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you see like the crosswinds that are coming in. It's like, fucking hell, how the hell are they doing that? But
it's their job, though, isn't it?
Well, it is. I suppose it is weird.
If they only have to adjust for a wind,
well,
then fair enough. Yeah, they're adjusting for. I can't do it, but if that's their job,
basically, I think it's come about because obviously he's a fan of the NFL for starters. Whereas certain kickers in the rugby might not be.
Yeah. Is he a genuine fan, or is it like something to do with the fact that NFL and Tottenham have this kind of...
No, he's a genuine fan as well, to be fair. I think it all just sort of ties in together. But there's pictures of him with Tom Brady and stuff like that. And like, yeah, it's just a bit weird. But, yeah, it is what it is, I suppose.
Right.
So...
Was it finished yet?
There was a thing that announced... Harry Kane wants to be a kicker in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'll take Paul, what the fuck's this bullshit? 2 days later, it's still... Because I was like, is this just an early April Fool's thing and all this? 2 days later, a video appears, Harry Kane serious about being a kicker in the NFL, and him kicking, like Paul said, 40-yard field goals, like they're nothing. Just booting the shit out of them, sailing straight through. It's like... Okay.
I mean, he is paid, let's say, $200,000 a week
to kick
stuff.
And
so
the kicks were all
he knows
made,
how to kick.
And the kicks were all made indoors, so no wind.
No element.
Yeah. So I mean, that's got some sort of degree of difficulty removed, but like you say, you still got to make the kick. So.
I mean, I still maintain out of all those four options, though, that the field goal must be the easiest.
Well, bear in mind, at this point, we're still talking like this is something that's like 10 years plus in the future.
Yeah. In
theory, because he must only be like 24, 25.
Yeah.
So
I'd put him at that.
Literally in the prime of his career. So I don't know.
I always thought I'd just correct you on that. I always think your prime is 27 to 29.
This is bullshit when people say this.
Well, go on. I'm not the first to say this.
Well, this is the thing. People
I
say,
think just before you get to
there was always a thing on like Championship Manager or Football Manager. It was like, hey, so like your assistant manager would tell you that defensive midfielders don't usually get their prime until they're in 31 to 34 because they've seen all there is to see in the game.
A bit more experience.
Bullshit. If he's a good footballer at 21, he's still going to be a good footballer at 26.
Yeah, but I think by the time you get to 27 and stuff, you're probably going to hit peak strength and all that kind of stuff. I reckon.
Suppose
the experience.
Yeah, I just don't like it. At the end of the day, you probably at your peak when you're at your fittest, and you're going to be at your fittest the younger you are, arguably.
Yeah, I think you're going to get stronger and stronger up and through.
Depends when your body stops growing, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I was at my peak at 19.
You look at Cristiano.
Yeah, but he's a fucking freak, isn't he? He's just a genetic anomaly.
I was watching a program where they were talking about. It was essentially Rio Ferdinand talking about he was the best player in the world and all that kind of stuff. But apparently, the United dressing room used to wind Ronaldo up just in the United dressing room, Ronaldo would be there doing whatever, and they'd be like, you know, Messi's better. Right? And do you know what he said? He said to Ronaldo, turn around and go, yeah, maybe, but he doesn't look like this. Just walk off.
Probably got a point on it.
Yeah, but Messi's never been about like the physique, has it? But which is weird because I imagine if he like stripped off, he'd probably have a fairly decent physique under there. Maybe not as chiselled as Cristiano.
It's just because he's apparently been on these growth injections for the large part of his career, hasn't he?
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Fulham
are no longer a Premier League side.
Oh no! Was that after the first, second, third, or fourth goal they conceded tonight that we realised that?
So they needed a win to keep any hopes of being.
They needed to win basically 5 out of 5.
They need to win all the last games basically, and they've just been absolutely pummeled 4-1 at Watford.
Yeah. So like Paul was saying earlier,
welcome back to the Championship, Fulham. You're going to love it again.
What Paul was saying earlier was like, we're literally like 2 days into April, and two of the 3 relegated teams have just already happened. Like it's just a bit boring.
And score. No one.
4 games at home on the spin lost.
So
5 games in a row lost.
So
that absolute disaster that I said that they need to do to fall out of the playoffs has actually come true. So now they're basically an outside bet to get in the playoffs.
I do want to draw attention to one thing.
Go on.
James was correct when he predicted earlier that he was going to win this week.
Yeah.
I came second this week, Paul.
Isn't Paul off? Two previous weeks have been double donuts.
I think I've been appalling in the predictions.
I won last week.
Gosh, you.
That's because I basically thought I'm gonna bet against Middlesbrough every time. The only reason you've not won this week,
you haven't had a score in weeks.
Yeah, I'm aware.
You got 1 point this week.
It's all going to come round this weekend, though.
You got 1 point this week. Your highest score.
What was your point this week? The Murphy goal, yeah.
Darryl Murphy, baby.
Look at that one. Ba, 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 ba.
I know.
Right, let's predict this week.
So,
we might as well go into you first.
This week
then.
in football.
Who have the mighty Borough got, Paul?
Well, the footballing week continues. Obviously, Wednesday games.
Mighty.
Friday, quite an interesting game in the Premier League. Southampton versus Liverpool. So that's Southampton versus Southampton, basically. Right, so Saturday. It's also FA Cup semi-final weekend. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So the Championship gets underway at 12:30 with Norwich versus QPR. We then have Rotherham at home to Nottingham Forest. Middlesbrough away at Swansea City.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, that was Nottingham.
Why have you gone all American?
Nottingham.
Forest.
It reminds me of, have you seen this in the film Goal?
Forest, they're away at Rotherham.
Have you ever seen the film Goal?
No.
So, he comes and plays for Newcastle.
Newcastle!
Right, but after his dad never saw him play or whatever like that, and then he dies, and he's like, oh no! But then someone tells him that his dad he came to England to see him play, and he just comes up to the crowd and he goes, "My dad came to see me. He was there for the Fulham game." I'm like, you've made a serious football film.
Oh, you've got Fulham.
Are there only 2 or are there 4 games? Wasn't there something about there was 2 games every week for the rest of the season?
The potential might be.
Mine's probably not going to extend beyond Tuesday.
Well, this is the thing. So, technically next Tuesday, there is Sheffield Wednesday versus Forest. There is also Bolton versus Middlesbrough. But this is the thing: if Bolton's game on Saturday doesn't go ahead, the chances are its game on Tuesday ain't going to go ahead.
Yeah, also, and if we're around here on Tuesday, the Bolton game kicks off at 8. So
Nottingham Forest.
You're not going to get results till 10 on that one.
Jesus.
So we'll go this week. So this week we are away at Rotherham. That's a double South Yorkshire away.
Might as well just stay. Might as well just stay, mate. Not bothered travelling back to Nottingham.
Yeah. So, away at Rotherham, I can only predict my usual 3-0. 0-3, to be clear. Rotherham are not...
Rotherham with a thumping home win.
Yeah. 0-3. The goal scorer absolutely will be Graben. He will get 2, in fact. And I think the other goal will be Carvalho.
Zhao?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just having a quick look on Twitter because I can only imagine some of the tweets that are coming out from the Borough supporters at the minute. I will have a go at Rotherham 1, Forest 4.
Jesus.
So
That's going to be good when we get his pounds out in a bit.
seriously, one of the guys who does the Gazette, so the local Middlesbrough paper, has just put a tweet up saying, "Shot shy Borough slipped to a cut and paste 5th successive defeat to loud chants of 'We want Pulis out.'" So it's not good. Not good at all. Sadly.
Predict your Forest result. Well, you've gone result. What's the scorers?
Yeah, so I'll have that Ajayi guy to score for Rotherham because he's the only guy who seems to score. And I'll go. Well, it worked for me last week.
Bearing in mind, where exactly are Rotherham?
Murphy, Lolly, Cash, and Guediora.
We're even in the squad this week.
Classic.
Don't know what's up with him. I don't know why he's not regularly starting because I maintain he is one of our best players.
Guediora?
Yeah. Love him.
I've gone 2-0 Forest, Lolly and Cash to score.
Oh, that's a surprise. At least Cash played this week.
He did?
I like how Murphy's waited all this time for Graben to get back in the starting lineup, and then thought probably should get a goal now. No goals whilst he was the main dude. You know, Bonatini getting goals, Lindisfarne or whatever he's called.
Lindisfarne!
I
don't even know who that is.
Anisfarne, you know what I mean. Anisfarne or whatever.
Oh, I honestly can't remember him.
I can't remember. I just like to call him Lindisfarne.
So, Middlesbrough versus Swansea.
Swansea 2-0.
Oh no! This feels like you've just given up now.
Well, they have. So why not? Why shouldn't the supporters? Seriously, how can you be? How can you justify being a team in the top 10 and losing 5 games in a row? That is absolutely shocking. That is awful. Goals, fuck me. James and Lloyd Dyer got a couple tonight, so I'll stick him down for one.
I've gone...
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that Lindisfarne isn't in the squad. Or... Oh, he is there. Sorry, he is. How would you say that? I'm just saying...
And Sarifard.
Yeah, Lindisfarne. What gets me is, we're listing now Matty Cash as striker. Hello.
I've gone 1-0 to Swansea.
Can I just confirm, is this at the Vetch?
It's at the Vetch, apparently.
You've gone...
It's at the Liberty.
1-0.
To... Really?
Yeah, Borough can't find their ass with both hands.
I'm going to go 1-1. I've got some faith.
Scorers?
I'm totally Pulis. I will grow Grimes for Swansea. And for Middlesbrough, is there any chance Wing's going to play?
He's been injured the last couple of games.
Oh, right, okay.
So he's definitely on the back foot.
Who's looking good for a midfield goal? Howson.
Howson has been playing better.
I'm fancying a midfield goal.
Well, Downing's back in the starting lineup now, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, yeah, let's go Downing. So you missed that.
Let's go Downing.
When you went to collect the takeaway. So you know we talked a few weeks ago about how Downing can't start a game because if he starts a game, they have to pay more money. Well, now he's negotiated a new contract.
Basically, they've come to an agreement. So it must have
today is that or
since it was earlier in the, well, it was either yesterday or today.
Yeah.
But he's basically signed some sort of short-term deal, which means that he won't trigger
that extension. Yeah.
So he's back available
like a
to
stay of
start
execution
games.
or something.
Yeah. So it must be like a 7-game deal or something.
So I think Downing starts, Downing scores.
7-game deal, 8-game, 6-game deal. No.
What's this other night?
It'll be 6 after tonight, won't it?
Game.
Yeah. So we're both. So that's Saturday games.
Games.
We are playing on Tuesday night. So if we're podcasting, what I will say is the Forest game kicks off at 7:45, so it'll finish around 9:30. So like tonight, we just had to wait a bit.
Yeah.
If the Bolton Middlesbrough game goes ahead, that kicks off at 8. So you're looking on the towards 10 o'clock for a result on that one.
Just to put it in perspective, so I've just had a quick look at the league table, as you do, because interested. So Borough's stats for the season: played 39, won 15, drawn 13, lost 11. So up until 5 games ago, they'd only lost 6 games all season.
With the meanest defence up, even into your losing streak, you still have the best defence, didn't you?
We probably still have the best defence now.
Because you're just losing 1.
Because we only lose 1-0 every fucking week. But how bad is that?
Yeah, I know.
We've almost lost the same number of games we've lost all season in a row.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
But Paul,
depressing as fuck.
You're still in front of my team.
By 1 point now.
Won't be that way this time next week.
Fucking won't be. It makes me not want to go. Seriously, like.
After I've sorted tickets.
Yeah, that's fine. So the season they got relegated from the Premiership almost did me as a football supporter, because Borough got relegated.
Paul's got relegated.
Paul's got relegated out of the league, and I know I don't support them, but York got relegated at the same time as well. So I was like, this season can fuck off. And you know what? Football hasn't got better. It's not got better since for me.
He's on full depressed mode.
Seriously, it's just.
Oh, Andy's going big on his scores this week.
No,
got no.
I'm assuming that's coffee money.
So there's my £1 for bets.
Well, your £1 for bets will be covered in your coffee money because the coffees are only £3.50.
Yeah, I use the money for coffee. I use for food.
Well, it was like 14 quid for the coffee, so I'm assuming they were £3.50 each. Hands it over, James!
Don't pass it on. Take one and pass it on.
Right.
Don't take one.
So anyway, we've got 2 more games to predict.
Yeah.
We'll
Nottingham are apparently playing somebody.
Away at Wednesday. So
Chef Wednesday?
Yeah. So basically we're away in Rotherham on the Saturday, then away in Sheffield, which is literally like 10-15 mile away at most. On the Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, we were lauding them as the form team only a couple of weeks back, weren't we?
I don't know if they've lost games or if did they just keep drawing. Oh, I saw a stat that popped up about Stoke actually the other day. Have you seen the stats on their games? Their last 4
Don't even
games
say this.
have all finished 0-0.
Oh, so you mean every game since they beat me?
You on your own? Well, of course they're going to beat you.
You know what I mean?
Just
Forest.
trotting around the field.
There's 11 of them.
Yeah, the last 4 games Stoke have played all finished 0-0.
What I've not gone to look at is did Ipswich draw 1-1 again? Because that would have been when Forest drew that game before the international break. That was 6. Was it 6 1-alls in a row? Was it 5 or 6?
Oh, Ipswich's game was against Hull on Saturday and they lost 0-2. Sadly.
So Hull stopped that record.
Hull broke that record. Right, sorry, I need to get some odds data.
Well,
Are we going as 2 singles or are we going as...
Well, we'll do 2. We'll do it as 2 doubles.
Yeah.
Because we'll do the Saturday games as a double
that's what I
each.
meant, yeah.
And we'll do the...
so we'll come back to the... You want to just get the bets in.
We'll get the Saturday games out of the way.
And then come back to
And then we'll come back to the other ones.
Yeah.
Right. So, football.
I predict...
Rip it football.
I predict Paul's got some extreme odds.
Some good odds.
with a 4-1 away win.
I think the highest has to be last week's £3,587. James.
Right, we'll do Andy's first. Rotherham versus Nottingham Forest.
2-0.
2-0.
It's his new favourite one. I know you used to
0-2 at 11-1.
2-0 is your new favourite score. What was the odds, sorry?
11-1. Swansea versus Middlesbrough.
If the 2-0 away win is 11-1, the fuck is 4-1?
You say 1-0 Swansea. That is 6-1. So your first double, Andrew, of a Nottingham Forest 2-0 win and a Swansea 1-0 win is 83-1.
I think when we go to see the Borough Forest game, we'll make a special trip to an actual betting office.
Oh my word, an actual in-play, in the flesh betting system.
With pencils and everything.
Yeah.
Penciled. Right,
It's
James.
going to be really bizarre though because I'll already be halfway there. So we'll have to meet in Nottingham. Because I'll be coming from Donny.
Oh, I'll be driving to Nottingham then.
Are you driving?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to look into it because the trains aren't the easiest to Nottingham, are they?
They really are not.
No, you just have to Oh, actually.
I'll probably have to get a train to Donny.
No, it's normally
or Sheffield.
from Donny. It's a switch at Chef. If you can get direct to Chef, I can.
I'll look into it.
Don't drive.
Well, I'll look into it.
I don't know if Sam's going yet though. So if there's 3 of us, then we'll sort something.
Nottingham Forest versus Rotherham.
3-0.
3-0. 0-3. Oh, let's be clear.
Oh my! So 0-3 was
0-2 was 11-1.
0-3 was 25-1. I've just seen what 1-4 is. Oh my! What did you go for the
1-1?
Borough, bloody hell, you're giving us a chance, are you? You're a fucking...
Someone's got to support him.
You're a fucking maniac!
Because he's tapped out, hasn't he,
in this room.
In fairness, 2 weeks ago, you went against Borough and it served you well. For the Bristol Rovers game, you went back to supporting Borough and let you down. So I see where you're going with this.
I don't know why you're not backing your own club. Absolutely disgraceful.
The Bristol City Boys.
The Bristol City Boys. So, Nottingham Forest win 3-0 at Rotherham, 25-1.
Yeah.
A 1-1 draw between Swansea and Middlesbrough at 9-2 gives James odds of 142-1.
So they're fancying 92 better than they're fancying the 1-1 as opposed to the 1-0, 2-0 to Swansea.
Slightly. Well, Swansea to win.
That was 6-1, wasn't it?
Something
and I've got
like
11-2. So
yeah, so they fancy the draw.
They fancy
more
the draw
than,
a bit better than your.
Oh, I've just come off the Swansea game, bastard. Right, what did I say? I said 0-2, I think, to Swansea.
Yeah. Which is the same as you.
No, he went 0-1.
Oh, did he go 0-1?
Yeah, because 2-0 Swansea is 10-1.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my odds are going to be so fucking huge.
That's what you said.
10-1 and... Ooh, are we talking about like 50 or something for the other one?
Just you wait. So I said 1-4.
You did.
So, Swansea 2-0 at 10-1 and Nottingham Forest 4-1 at 50-1.
Oh, I called it.
Gives Paul Williams a double of 560-1. Right then.
I don't think I've got pennies with me today.
You didn't have any pennies earlier. We're aware of this. Just owe me like 50 quid eventually.
Never has any money.
Like the Queen don't carry cash.
Right. The Saturday bets are in.
Locked in.
Let's predict Tuesday.
Right. So by virtue of a 15-minute early kickoff, it's my team first.
Of course it is. Yeah, buddy.
Go.
Wednesday. I think Wednesday 1, Forest 2.
Ooh, 12-1.
Scorers.
Fletcher for Wednesday.
Stephen Fletcher.
He's still playing, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
And for Forest, Grabban and Watson. Tell you what, it'd be 50-1
I can't
for
wait.
Watson to score.
I cannot wait to look back over this season to how many times you've predicted Grabban to score.
Yeah.
Every
and
week.
How many times never score.
No, he's not really got any goals since we started doing the podcast.
He's very much
Literally
dried up, hasn't he?
has never scored.
Because he's had two fairly long injuries since. Sticking with him though.
Yeah, gonna come. Statistically,
I've made a mistake.
gonna come.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh no.
It'd be right.
He's absolutely ruined.
He's fucked it.
Oh,
He's
did
gone and
it
fucked it.
turn itself off?
No, I turned it. No, I turned itself off.
It'd be right.
I can't see. I can't see shit.
I can't see shit, can you?
It's got a thumbnail there, hasn't it? Looking special.
Oh, I think last week's thumbnail looked like Mr. Williams was scratching his ass. I was like,
I can't remember.
well, that's just
I've seen
beautiful
it,
as that.
Yeah, boy. Do you want to give us your Bolton versus Borough prediction? So I can just put it in the bag.
Oh, right. Bolton versus Borough. Where is it at? Bolton.
It's at the Reebok.
So-
Macron.
So
whatever
what
fuck
happens
it's
if this
called
game doesn't go ahead? Is it just turned back into a single?
now. Yeah, I'd guess so.
I'm going to go with Bolton 0, Borough 3.
You are fucking maniac.
It's Bolton.
I mean, this is it, innit? Because you technically have to predict Borough to win, but Borough can't win because they don't know how. So
They'll win.
0-0.
We'll go.
Own goals all round.
We'll go Brit.
Do.
He doesn't like scoring against Bolton, to be fair. I think he's scored in every game he's played against them.
Howson and Ayala.
Honestly think, I'd have to look back through the stats. I think Ayala's been sent off more times than he's scored this season.
Yeah, I've noticed that actually.
Unfucking believable.
Assuming that he's not suspended.
Seriously, he got booked on Saturday and everyone was like, well, that's him fucking gone then. So in the second half, when they had to make a change to put another guy up front, who do you reckon was the guy sacrificed?
What, the guy on the yellow?
Fuck me. The walking red card himself, Daniel Ayala. Fucking hell.
But I think he's scoring a goal. Bullet header. Right, anyway, what's the
So,
Nottingham
Forest to beat Sheff Wednesday 2-1 at 12s. Borough to win 3-0 at Bolton at 12s.
Alright.
Gives you a double of 168-1.
Right.
Bet is in.
Safe. I mean,
Drew.
that's fairly short odds, my predictions.
Right.
They fancy Borough for that win then, because if a 3-0 away win is only 12.
Just on league position alone, you have to like as a bookie, you have to back.
Yeah.
You have to back Borough there, don't you?
I've got a weird feeling about this Forest Wednesday game.
Oh, yeah.
So, give me one goal scorer from Wednesday.
Fletcher.
Ooh, there's an ex-Borough player called Adam Reach. He gets.
Bannon's still playing at Wednesday.
I think so.
So I have
I'd be on
gone
that.
with 1-1.
Do you know what? I can see why you've gone there, because I'm due. Normally, I predict Forest to win every time, and that's why I've given it like a 2-1. Because normally I go pretty hardline Forest every time, don't I? Wednesday's a tough game.
Yeah. I've got a weird feeling. So I've gone that Reach going lolly.
Excellent. 5-1 on that.
Middlesbrough Bolton, I mean, like I say.
Get a dart and throw it in a board.
Yeah.
Literally.
It is what I said. Surely you've got to put Middlesbrough down for a win, but so 1-0.
0-1, 9-2. Oh, Andrew, your odds are pathetic. So you draw 1-1 Wednesday Forest at 5s, and Middlesbrough to win 1-0 at 9-2 is a paltry 32-1 double.
That means it's definitely happening.
Definitely happening. So
Forest first.
Sorry, what was mine? I was looking for
32s, 32-1.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Must mean it's going to win.
Yeah.
So I've already put my Borough prediction into the bet, but we'll do the Sheff Wednesday Forest one first. I will go similar lines to you, Andrew. I'm going to with 2-2. Desmond indeed.
Scorers.
I'll go with Zhao. Joao.
Yeah, but you can just see this is going to fuck him up because I've predicted Carvalho as well.
No, Lucas Zhao.
Oh right, okay.
And Reach for Wednesday. And
I wonder where you got that idea from. Fucking hell.
got to back him, haven't I? Daryl Murphy to notch for his third game in a row. Alongside Lewis Grab.
You know now you've said that they're going to start with Lindisfarne and Bonatini up front.
Well, no, they're going to start with that striker, Matty Cash, aren't they? So,
hang on. I must have got confused there. Jowl plays for Wednesday.
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
Lucas
I
Zhao.
thought he was going for Zhao.
Put him on the wrong team.
Bloody hell.
And you went Murphy and
Graben. For Forest.
Well, he's not scored yet, so you know.
Oh, and the Bolton Middlesbrough game, I've gone for 0-0.
See, that's what I wanted to go for, because, like I say, realistically, that is the score from that game, because I don't see either of them.
So not only is it 5 games lost on the spin, it is 3 games without scoring. So, shit.
So just the time to score 3.
Yeah.
Go on, what's your odds then?
So, both draws. So the 2-2 Wednesday Forest is 14-1. The 0-0 Bolton Borough is 7-1, giving me a double of 119-1.
Low numbers this week, which can only mean that we're going to win all that money.
Yeah, buddy.
More than pennies.
Bets are in. Predictions are made.
I mean, they were huge last week because it was a triple.
Is it quiz time?
Usual rules apply for everybody at home, especially you, Stu. No, we know you like to play this game. Either take 50p, put it in your Sky Bet account or whichever betting service you use.
Other betting apps
and then
available.
Either put on the same bet as us, so you can have a slice of this sweet, sweet money, or put your own bet on, and if you win, tag us on social media with a picture of your betting slip and show us how it should have been done, sort of thing. And yes, to answer your question, I do believe it is now the segment we like to call Quiz Time. I'm following a suggestion from our very own host, Mr. Paul Williams, to check out joe.co.uk, so I can give them a shout out, for this week's quiz. We'll see how this goes, because this seems to be very up to date. It's like a weekly.
They are.
And
It's a weekly
last
quiz.
Week's game,
And it's basically normally a weekly based, this week in football based.
I only really got into joe.co.uk when.
I'm surprised that you like it, because it's a very much a Facebook driven thing.
Yeah, but I got a lot of videos linked and watched their YouTube channel a lot during Leicester's title win. There was a lot of like funny videos knocking around.
Oh my god! If you want a funny video,
you know, like the parody of the Guardians of the Galaxy scene.
No.
Where Star-Lord's dancing around to try and distract her while someone comes from behind. Well, there's a picture of. It wasn't the last one. That one, I think it was. It was when United beat Palace in the cup final.
Oh, Pardew just doing all the
Pardew just doing all the dancing. Yeah,
it
was pretty good.
Dear God.
So, this is the Joe Monday football quiz week 29, and there are 15 questions.
Righto.
Obviously, I'm playing along too, just so we can get the score, just so we can get the answers. Question.
Before we start, can I get some of that water in my mug?
One.
What I was going to say was, a funny YouTube thing to watch is Paddy Power's fan denial videos. Oh my good God, they're hilarious. So it's basically...
a tiny bit to start with, I'll get rid of the... I'll just be like
the coffee sludge.
A little, like, brown one.
Coffee sludge.
A little brown.
Oh, that's enough, thank you.
Anyone needing the toilet?
Anybody who's watching this going, I could really do with a pee.
Yeah, I definitely
just pause it.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Question number 1. Obviously,
I haven't
play along at home. But here's the beauty of this one: to play along at home, go onto the website and do the quiz, and then let us know what you got. This is joe.co.uk. So
you've not already done this.
We said earlier that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Question number 1: which Rangers player was sent off for elbowing Scott Brown during Sunday's Old Firm derby?
Oh, tell me it's not. Tell me it's not the guy that's been sent off now in 3 Old Firm derbies in a row.
No. They brought up his stats. It was his 5th red card of the season, and he'd earlier been earlier in the season he'd been sent off in 3 games against Aberdeen.
Oh, that was the Aberdeen. So it is him. Yeah, I've forgotten his name.
There are
exactly.
options. There are only 3 options.
Oh, brilliant! I'll get it from the options.
Alfredo
Morelos.
That'd be that one.
Ryan Kent, Andy Halliday.
See, it's interesting because all 3 of them were involved in altercations during the game. Scott Brown had quite a funny, in his post-match interview, he had a bit of a scuffle with Andy Halliday, and the guy doing the interview was like, the bit at the end of the game where between you and Andy Halliday, what happened there? He's like, oh, he just came over to congratulate me on the win. It was like, all right. We'll play that show with Scott.
I'd forgotten that it was both games. It's 2 successive games against Aberdeen. He did, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was 3 in a row, I think. So I think it's a case of each game he's played against Aberdeen this season, he hasn't lasted the 90 minutes. So.
Question number 2: Liverpool beat Tottenham on Sunday after an own goal by which Spurs player? Was it Hugo Lloris, Kieran Trippier, Toby Alderweireld?
Boom! Very good.
Oh, I think we say Alderweireld, don't we?
Well, it's still.
But you've done well there.
To do it.
I think he's done very well.
Question number 3: Huddersfield were relegated from the Premier League with 6 games to go on Saturday. What was the last team to do this? Was it Sunderland, Derby County, or Hull City?
Oh, City. Oh, City.
It was the same number of games, wasn't it? But
6 games to go. Only the second team in history to be relegated in March, I think.
Question number 4: Alejandro Pozuelo
Well, it's a new name on me.
scored twice in his first MLS game since joining Toronto FC from Genk. For which British
I always
team
laugh at that one.
did he used to play?
Now give us the name again. Alejandro Pozuelo.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Norwich, Swansea, Everton.
Have you fluked it?
What do you mean fluked?
Of course he has. Of course he got it
I
right.
knew the answer.
Of course he did.
We might have a problem because this gives you the information, but it removes the question. I don't know if I press that button. Oh, yeah, no, we're fine. We're all fine. Question number 5. What reason did the Football Association give for changing its name to the English Football Association?
Didn't even know they had changed their name.
There are the options. To appear less arrogant, they wanted to spice things up, they got bored of the name. I mean...
They all seem pretty shit reasons, don't they?
They are pretty shit reasons. Question number 6. As previously mentioned earlier, Harry Kane was given what award last week in recognition of his World Cup heroics? Was it an OBE, a CBE, or an MBE? Question number 7. Bayern Munich broke their transfer record acquiring which Atletico Madrid player last week? Options are Thomas Partey.
There ain't no party like a Thomas party.
Lucas Hernandez. Saul
Niguez.
Yeah.
Saul Niguez.
It was a bit...
You were going to get a bit into danger there, weren't you?
It was a little... I need an adult on this one.
I need an adult. How do you need an adult?
So we called him Paul.
Alright, mate, come on. It's not need to be rude.
Question number 8. The Brazil senior team are set to wear a white jersey for the first time since 1950 during this year's Copa America. Why have they not worn one in 69 years?
69,
dude.
I think I know this answer.
Your options. The last time they did, they lost the World Cup final at home to Uruguay. White is an unlucky colour in Brazil. From 1951 to 2018, only brides were allowed to wear white in Brazil.
Be amazing if that's true.
Number 9. What reason did Neil Warnock give for delaying his post-match interview with Sky Sports on Sunday? There are 3 options.
Is one of them, I was pretty fucked off to lose the game at the end.
But the first 2 options are the same.
Go on.
He was too tired. He was too tired. He was too angry.
Is it worded differently?
I mean, obviously there are no answers there, so tell me that those 2 first answers aren't the same.
Oh, yeah, there's... Well...
Is that some kind of in-joke? Is it a typo? Is it...
Not a clue. He's a ball bag, like, so...
Yeah, I know.
Wouldn't put it past him to be a total fucking bellend.
My hate of Sheffield United and Neil Warnock peaked when he was the manager.
Question 10.
It was like when Robbie Keane played for Leeds.
You don't like Robbie Keane?
Oh no, he's an awful human.
So this person seems to be called Adele.
Adel.
Yeah.
Tarabbed.
Yeah. Made his debut for
Have you seen this? This is incredible.
Benfica's first team over the weekend. When did he join the club? January 2019, June 2015, July 2017.
I didn't know anything about that story, but...
Amazing.
11 of 15. Oh, this is a picture. What team plays at this stadium? So, I'll show it to you guys.
Motherfucker! I might need to actually dive in on that one. Yeah, better. Oh dear. Ooh, I think I know that one.
Right.
I think I know that one because I think I've been to that stadium.
Right.
Okay, and one more time for you at home.
You might want to read out
your
the
options are Oldham Athletic, Rochdale, Yeovil Town.
The next one looked like it could be a picture as well. I don't think Andy got it.
You motherfucker!
Another picture.
Interesting.
For question 12. Yeah. What team plays at this stadium?
I'm starting to notice a pattern here. I was just going to say, if it's who I think it is, I thought it was being a massive fucking Homer question for somebody, but it was. It's not what I thought it was.
Did you see? Yeah, I think I know that one. Just want to have another check actually on the way back. Now I'm feeling a bit less confident.
Ooh. Yeah, by the way, the last 5 questions all appear to be, which team plays at this stadium?
Right, okay.
It's going to get older.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know on this one. Ooh.
Let me just have a little quick look. Yeah, I'm happy with what I said.
Okay, so back to the people at home.
It's down. It's 1 or 2.
Oh, it's 1 of 3, clearly.
Yeah, but I think.
What team plays at this stadium? Is it Dundee United, Blackpool, or Luton Town?
I think one can be ruled out quite easily there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, Jesus. Question 13. What team plays at this stadium? I'm presuming you need to.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It seems to be a
Oh dear,
one, maybe.
fucking God.
I'm going to say Spanish club.
You might be right.
Were all the options.
Sorry about that.
Oh no! Did you go that way? So I knew it wasn't going to be Luton, right? Oh, you went Luton.
But I should have gone with the other one.
Yeah. Well, I think the other two play in orange.
But the reason I didn't go with that one is because that was the answer on the other one. I'm like,
don't
it's not going to be the same, is it? It's not going to be the same.
Don't be giving stuff away now, boy.
I can't remember.
I need to zoom in.
Anyway, next time you pass the phone, just scroll
up to the previous answer.
Right, I know what I'm going with.
So do I. Yeah. I'm not happy with it though.
Right, for you people at home, it's that.
In hindsight, this might be one where we give away we give the answer straight after the question.
Your options are,
like we've done in previous.
Atletico Madrid, Athletic Bilbao,
Athletic Bilbao,
and Sevilla.
Sevilla. We don't discuss Sevilla. They might have given certain teams a spanking in a UEFA Cup final several years ago.
What team plays at this stadium? For question 14. If I'd have known
please be the River Dance, please be the River Dance, please be the River Dance.
I'd have probably not gone with this quiz.
Ooh. At this moment in time, I'm guessing. Oh no, it's not German. The top one's not German, is it? Right, I've got my one.
Right, so for you at home, which team plays at this stadium? Out of Zenit St. Petersburg, Schalke 04,
The next one.
I've just seen that.
1899, Hoffenheim.
Well, you spelled it wrong, so you should deduct yourself a point. You have no excuse if you get this one wrong. I've already seen the picture.
Question 15. What team plays at this stadium?
Why has he got no excuse? What's he know?
Because I know that stadium. I'm going to get it wrong. Just out of spite.
Oh!
Ah.
Well, you've given me a clue now.
Ah.
Because if he knows the stadium, I know why he'll know the stadium.
Because I'm a massive grass hockey fan.
What?
So I know it's not
The top one.
the first option, and out the other two, I'm not convinced there's any NFL happening at that middle one.
Well, is there? Oh,
So,
Jamesy
You're at
boy!
home. Who
no,
plays
got
at
the pen.
this stadium?
Oh
And your options are Bayern Munich,
Right, it's locked in. What is it?
New York City FC, or Atlanta
I'm right in my
United.
theory.
no! Your logic was flawless.
Yeah.
Right then, as James pointed out, what we should have done is we should have scored them as we went along to make it easier. Get a map.
Just so you know. Just to let you know.
How many have you got?
You're
What's
coming
the
up
target?
against a tough score today, boys.
You've scored 10 out of 15, I think.
He's not scored 10. He scored 6.
Fuck you, James.
He's
got 9.
Woo!
So you can sit now fucking...
Suck my
That's
balls.
pretty good.
Suck my balls.
Shit, I haven't got 9.
So, question number 1 was...
Alfredo Morelos.
Which
That's not
Ranger,
the question.
which Ranger player was sent off for elbowing Scott Brown during Sunday's Old Firm derby? It was Alfredo Morelos. Question
Dirty little
2.
bastard.
Liverpool beat Tottenham on Sunday after an own goal by which Spurs player?
Toby Alderweireld.
It was. Question 3.
Conspiracy theorists saying that the Spurs players were in on the action because Lloris waves his hand over the top of the ball and Alderweireld kicks the floor. So it's definitely not the fact that they just got confused as to who was going for the ball and didn't want to fucking kick each other. Yeah, fuck off.
Huddersfield were relegated from the Premier League with 6 games to go on Saturday. What was the last team to do this?
Derby.
Derby County. Question 4.
Is this where we start guessing?
Yeah.
This is where I started guessing.
Big team.
Alejandro Pozuelo
I have
Pozuelo,
absolutely never heard of
scored
this
twice
player.
in his first MLS game since joining Toronto FC from Genk. For which British team did he used to play?
I have gone Swansea.
I've also gone Swansea.
I went Swansea to make my score 4 out of 4.
Oh!
Did you go the first 4? All right.
No, James.
Wow.
You got the first 5.
Got the first 5 right. Which?
Oh really?
What reason did the Football Association give for changing its name to the English Football Association?
I have honestly gone with less arrogant.
That's what I've gone for.
And I also went with that to make my score 5 out of 5.
It has always bothered me that we're the FA, but everyone else in the world is the Brazilian FA, the Italian FA, the Irish FA, but we are the FA.
Question 6. Harry Kane was given what award last week in recognition of his World Cup heroics?
I've gone MBE.
I went MBE.
I didn't go MBE.
But you
I
should
went
have done.
OBE. But I should have gone MBE to get that score.
So it's member,
Member of the British Embassy.
Right.
Order
Empire.
of the... Oh, sorry.
order, or commander.
Commander of the British Empire.
And a member's the
Base
lowest
level one.
isn't it? He is a massive member.
Question 7. Bayern Munich broke their transfer record acquiring which Atletico Madrid player last week?
So I've guessed, but you absolutely know.
Yeah.
So I've gone with Lucas Hernandez.
Oh, damn, you got it right,
Really?
bitch.
I just went with the most Spanish sounding one I could think of.
They're all Spanish, I think.
Were they?
Oh, no.
I don't know the
Oh,
story.
is Thomas Partey Spanish?
It doesn't sound Spanish though, does it?
I think it might be French. I
That
can't remember,
sounds a
but
bit German to me.
Thomas Partey.
Thomas.
Jesus. The Brazilian senior team are set to wear a white jersey for the first time since 1950 during this year's Copa America.
I hope to God I'm right on this
Why
one.
have they not worn one in 60
Because I thought of this one
years?
before you gave the options.
Well, it ties in with them losing
I
the
think
World
it's
Cup
because they
final.
lost to Uruguay and they were
That's what I've gone for.
gutted at that. And
I've
that
gone
was
for
like,
A as well.
I went for that as well.
And is it right?
It is.
Yeah. The goalie was made like an absolute scapegoat for it though, wasn't he? He got blasted.
They called it like the Maracanazo or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like
Lost it
it was
over
like
to.
they treated it as like a national tragedy.
So
as
we
well.
think of like Brazil and Argentina as the big rivals down there, but Brazil and Uruguay are the two rival nations down there. And the fact that it was like lauded to be their home World Cup, it was a matter of fact that they were going to win.
Yeah.
Were they even in front or something? I don't know, but they
Can't remember, but yeah.
Question 9. What reason did Neil Warnock give for delaying his post-match interview with Sky Sports on Sunday?
Only because I was confused by the question. I've gone for the angry one.
I've gone too angry as well.
I went too angry as well. Warnock was too angry after Chelsea scored 2 late goals to beat Cardiff.
Oh, is that where
One
they
of
did
which
two?
was offside.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Question 10.
Well, we've already
Adele.
haven't they?
Tarab made his debut for Benfica's first team over the weekend. When did he join the club?
Well, based on your reaction, I've gone for the most extreme one and gone 2015.
Which is what I should have done, but I was like, well, that's just ridiculous.
So you
I
moved
went,
it to the 2017?
Yeah,
Yeah, I nearly did.
and should have.
Does it give an explanation?
No,
Why can you
not
offer
for
more
that
than
one.
the question?
Well, it's just like it came up on Twitter and it was like Adel Tarabta, he made his debut for Benfica tonight. He signed for them 4 years ago, so I don't know whether
Who is it? Because
He can't
he's
have been
played,
injured
he's
for
played
4
over
years,
here, right?
didn't he?
I've heard of that
he
name
was at
before.
he was at QPR.
Ah, right.
He was at Spurs.
Oh, was he when QPR got relegated? Was he like one of their...
Well, he was the
Was
guy.
he like the star player? or
QPR
something?
signed him from Spurs, I think, and he was the guy who basically got him promoted.
Yeah.
But then they had that Alejandro Fowling guy, and that's the guy who got him in loads of shit.
As if that's two Alejandros that have made it into the quiz
Yeah,
tonight.
it's weird, isn't it?
Question 11. What team plays at this stadium? And as you can see from my poor choice, worst thing is, I was like, it's Oldham. Because, I actually know Oldham. So I'm like, yeah, it's Oldham. So I went with the wrong answer.
Oh, I've gone with Oldham, so I imagine...
I put a different answer down and was like, why have I done that?
Does that make me right then?
It does.
The thing is, you're going to win it on this next one.
What team plays at this stadium? And as you can see from the screen,
Well, I was able to rule out. My logic was that it's not going to be Luton because of the colours. The other two both play in orange, as far as I know, right?
Luton have a certain degree of orange in
I
their
always
kit.
they're like a white. They're basically
Sometimes,
white,
like
aren't they?
well, for the last couple of seasons, I think their home kit has in fact been orange.
Oh, fair enough.
To be fair,
So
but-
I'd ruled them out and gone with Dundee or Blackpool, and I went with Blackpool. But
see, I went with Dundee United just based on the fact that one of the stands had bits missing from the top corner of one of the stands. So yeah, and I've not recognised that. Plus, Blackpool's stadium is basically similar to like Middlesbrough's Bowl, and then it's just got one temporary stand on one side, but the ends are both the same, and they've got one side down the side, whereas that is a different stand behind one of the goals.
massive artist.
it's Dundee United. Which team plays
I'm
at
on for
this
the- I'm on for
stadium?
the clean sweep here. I'm on for the clean sweep here.
Do you know this one?
I think so.
I went Bilbao.
See, I've gone Sevilla based on the badge that's in the advertising boards that's round the side.
Is he alright?
Yeah.
So I've literally fucking come. I've not even won. I've got a 13 out of 15.
Which team plays at this stadium? And as you can see from the fact that I got it right,
Schalke.
Schalke? Oh, thank fuck for that. Thought I'd busted my nut there.
and James, just for you,
Well, it has to be Atlanta.
the home of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, well, only because it came. Andy will know this one. I'm like, well, it's definitely not Bayern Munich, 'cause I know what theirs looks like. When it comes to American football stadiums, got no idea really. But I don't know of an NFL team that plays at the New York City Stadium.
No.
So
It'd either be the Giants or the Jets.
So on that basis,
But yeah, that's
went Atlanta.
It's Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah. Now Paul's doing that.
So you've got 15 out of 15.
15 on 15, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week when we will not be doing the joe.co.uk quiz because apparently it's too fucking easy.
As proof.
I got 9 out of 15.
As proof, I got 13 out of 15.
So, nice try, joe.co.uk. Thanks for the quiz, but you are the lower end of the quiz scale. We will be tapping the internet for more.
We move to an overall standings of Paul with 11, James with 4. Do you know what
the last two losses have been bloody close.
They have. Do you know what I reckon you should go back to? If you
Bear in
can
mind,
find...
you did have a win last week. We just did 2 quizzes.
That is true.
And you won one of them.
What you could go back to doing is the Who Am I quizzes. I quite like them.
I like anything.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not fussed. I like all formats of quizzing. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a 2-hour one.
Probably.
So for those of you who are still slogging away, thank you very much for joining us this week. And yeah, if you know what will happen if Bolton go out of business, please let us know.
Yeah.
And if anyone can locate a football team formerly by the name of Middlesbrough, can you let Steve Gibson know? Because I think he's trying to look anywhere to try and find them. So.
At least if you listen, now you won't have to get your tracksuit at the end of the year when we finish above you.
Yeah, I think
which hasn't been a concern for you so far.
No. The problem is that I am now just going to flat out refuse, just because of the way that the club's not making me want to be a supporter anymore. It's like it's just.
Oh.
It's just. It's
you'll
have
renewed enthusiasm next year.
Well, we'll see. It's just it's getting too much. It's just getting to be a chore to support now. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore. Football should always be. It should always be fun.
I find it fun.
Release.
Paul being a Middlesbrough fan.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's top banter, isn't it? But
new, just instantly, new guy at work. I'll get around it right. Massive northeasterner. He's not like one of these. He's not like one of these fake ones. Like Paul. He's got the voice and everything. So Lewis, who started at work, turns out they were all talking about football. He announced on the team that he was a Middlesbrough fan, and Les is like, "Oh, another one. You'll be in with Paul there." And then Les is like, "You don't want to speak too loud because James is a Forest fan." So Lewis pops up with, "I don't know if you knew this. Oh, the Forest game, got tickets going to that game." So I was like, "Funnily enough, me and Paul are both going to that game, but we'll be in the Forest end."
Is he the Borough end?
Yeah.
Good lad. Good lad.
So he's going to that. So then when we went into the Agora for the transformation update, they got him down in front of everyone. It's like, "Oh, Lewis, just introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself." And then Rob's giving it all these, so normally what we do when we get a new guy is they have to sing a song for everyone.
Or do a little performance or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so we've finally replaced Phil as the other Middlesbrough fan in the office.
Well, we're still one down. Gato was a Borough fan as well, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, so we lost a Borough fan and a Forest fan in the same foul swoop. Oh no, Gato went a bit early.
Gato was long gone before the complaints.
Yeah. So Richard was a Forest fan. So yeah, there's
Tricky Dicky.
So anyway, so potential if we make friends, someone on the podcast.
Make friends.
Oh, you don't want another Borough fan on the podcast, Jesus Christ.
Well, we might just replace you since you've lost interest.
I say you probably have to. Anyway, yes. So thank you very much, one and all. Until next time. Bye for now.
That was rather dramatic.
Wasn't it? And technically, it's still recording.
Can't get out of this fucking chair.
See, I know that was long, but we went.
Oh, it's still going. Come on, let's flesh it out for another 33 seconds.
What, for the full 2 hours?
And then we've got an official 2-hour podcast. Well, actually, it'll be over 2 hours because you've got to do your opening and your ending.
It'll
So,
be 2 hours.
oh no, there's no video to the end of this though. Oh, what a nightmare!
Just be fade to black, and then we can do basically in memory of Paul Williams, former Middlesbrough.
Oh, don't say that! Jesus Christ! Fucking hell, that's a bit brutal. He's not dead.
He's not dead.
No, but you're not a fan anymore.
His fandom is died.
In memory of Paul Williams, Middlesbrough fan, 1986 2019.
Right, we've hit the 2 hours. Turn the fucking microphones off.
So there you go then. What did you think to that? Another one in the bag. So YouTube watchers, turn yourselves into YouTube subscribers. Drop us a comment. Tell us how you're getting on in the football quiz. Did you win any money this week? Everybody should jump over to the cookiecast.com. Check us out over there. See our social media feeds. Drop us a line. Tell us how you're getting on. So yeah, that's another one done. Another one in the bag. And another week gone. Let's see what the predictions look like for next week. So yeah, until next time, I'm going to say goodbye and I'll see you then. Bye.